Hey guys, what's up? Getting ready for the first track day in the Cayman. We're gonna bleed the brakes and put some high performance brake fluid on there. We're using Motul 660. I've used it in the past. I've had great results for it. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and walk you guys through the process as I get this thing ready for its first track day. All right, let's go. All right, now that I got the wheels off, I went ahead and popped this cover off that covers up the brake reservoir as well as the strut mounts. So the first thing you gotta do, you gotta pop out this little plastic filter inlay right here. Once that thing's out, I just go ahead and set it in the cap. I keep a rag close by just because of how corrosive brake fluid is. I went ahead and picked up one of these. This is a pneumatic brake fluid puller, so instead of having to pump it or something, you just hook it up to your air compressor, you pull it out. So I'm gonna pull out as much as the existing fluid as I can before I start bleeding. All right, so I just got done pulling the fluid out of the reservoir. As you guys can see, it pulled out quite a bit, it works really well. But looking at the fluid, it looks really good. So there's a couple ways you can do this when you're changing your brake fluid. Either you can measure how much you're pulling out, or you can kind of, as you're draining the lines and sucking the new fluid in, you can just wait till the color change happens, and then that typically will show you where the older fluid looks kind of almost like motor oil, where it starts to change to a darker color, and as the light fluid comes through and flushes that out, that's when you know you're good. So we're just going to continue with this process and we'll see how it goes. All right, this kit from BILITOOLS for the pneumatic brake fluid extractor and change system comes with this nifty little bottle. It has a little vise mount right here. So all you need to do is you fill up the bottle with your brake fluid, and then it has a ball valve here, and then you close the ball valve, turn it upside down, screw it on and latch it, and then when it's there, you open up the ball valve and then you let it refill the reservoir. Once it fills up and hits the bottom of the nozzle, obviously it's not going to let any more fluid out. And then as we start pulling fluid out of the brake lines through the calipers, it'll backfeed the system. And then we put more in here than we need for the change. I think it's around 0.45 liters that it calls for. I have more than that in the bottle. That way I can ensure that I can get all the old fluid out, pull the new one in, and not have any air in the systems. Let's go bleed the calipers. So kind of the cool thing with this device is that I use this hose here that kind of has this little nozzle on the tip of it to pull the fluid out of the master cylinder for the brakes. All I got to do now is I just push down on that. It releases with a QD, and then I just put this one on, plug it in, and then this end has the end for the bleeder valves. So we're going to start from the inside and then work our way to the outside. Probably can't see this one as well. It looks the same, but what you're going to need is an 11mm wrench, and then you're just going to go ahead and stick the this little cap over the bleeder valve, and then I'm going to break this loose and then turn on the air. So I finished bleeding the brakes. They're good to go. It's ready for the track day. I went around, I double checked all my fittings to make sure they were good, double checked to make sure there's no air on the lines. And now one thing I always do, whenever I'm doing work and then I get access to something else, I always take a moment to use that opportunity to clean something or check something or do an inspection. So I'm gonna just relook at my suspension, make sure everything's tight. But another thing is, I'm gonna get some cleaner and I'm gonna clean up these calipers because the wheels are off and it's just easier to do it this way than waiting until the next time you wash your car. So when I do this, I tend not to use brake cleaner or anything because that tends to fade the paint on the calipers over time. I just use, for this actually, I'm just using a ceramic 3-in-1 detailer from Turtle Wax. I feel that it works really well and it cleans it up, and then it adds a nice little shine to the caliper as well. All right, staying with that theme of cleaning when you have access to things, I got the cover off that covers up the shock tower tops and for the brake reservoir as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray this down with some Chemical Guys Total Interior Cleaner and Protectant. It doesn't have a shine or anything to it. I like it. It's just kind of, it dries matte and you can use it on anything. All right, that's done, and as you can tell, it looks great. I'm gonna follow the theme here. I'm gonna clean up the under the frunk, if you will, area, and then I'll throw the cover back on. All right, got it done. Looks great. All right, so I got the brakes bled and about to throw the tires back on. I cleaned up a majority of the dust off the calipers, and one of the things I like to do, when you don't have the studs for the brake rotors to hang the wheel on, just go ahead and put one of them at the 12 o'clock position. That way that you can have your wheel lined up with your threaded mount in your rotor. So when you pick it up, it just goes straight in like that. And then I'll pre-prep the lug nut with the socket in order to get the one started. I like to put tape around it just so I don't scratch my wheels up. And then once that one's in at the 12 o'clock, just make it hand tight and you're good to go. And then from there, you can grab the others and start. This oil is really not that old, so, but I am gonna plan on tracking it soon. Excuse my arm, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just swap it out to be on the safe side. Looks really good still, actually. Don't see anything, no shavings or anything. Probably a little premature, but oh well. I think if I'm gonna track it, might as well anyway. All right, got most of the oil out, got the plug with the new washer on it, so let's go ahead and throw that in there. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it, make sure I don't cross that anything. Because if you guys have ever dealt with that, it is the worst. But if you take your time and you don't rush it, you should be okay. Hey guys, about to do the oil change, just got done draining it. Went ahead and went with the liquid moly, but what I do like about this oil is that it does have the Porsche 840 spec in it, so it's good to go. I like to run a little bit a 5W40 instead of like the 0W40, especially if I'm gonna be doing track stuff. So another thing that I like about liquid moly, I know it's not the only brand that does this, but which is cool, is that they got this little cool spout. So when you're getting ready to do your oil change, and let's say you don't have a funnel, you can still do it without making a mess. And then you just pull the little tab out, and then you're good to go, and put the cap back on. And this is the 5.28 quarts. And then obviously it takes 6 in the 718 Cayman S. The only thing is when you get the smaller quarts, it doesn't have that neat little spout nozzle, but I'm gonna be using a funnel anyway, so not a big deal, but I just wanted to show you guys that. I think it's a pretty little nifty gimmick. All right, let's get started. I like to get a little towel just in case. I don't want to get it all over my carpet or anything in the back here in the hatch. Always make sure to clean out my oil filter, because obviously whatever's in your oil filter is going to go into your engine if you don't have it cleaned out. So just double check your not your filter, but your funnel. Oh, look at that. Almost looks like old engine oil. That's just the additives and stuff in it. All right, I'll let that sit. Another great thing about keeping a towel close by when you do these changes is if you don't have every last bit of drop out of your funnel, you can just grab it up and you don't have to worry about spilling it everywhere. Pro tip, or amateur tip, whatever you want to call it. Yahtzee. So we got the oil change. We're gonna fire up the car, let it get up to operating temperature, and then I'll recheck the oil gauge and go from there. Got the oil change, got the brakes bled, got the new fluid in, got some performance upgrades. It's gonna be a good time. This is my second time tracking here. I did it in my ATS-V last time before I got rid of that car, but it should be a good time. There are already some sick cars showing up. You got some M3s, M4s, so it should be a good time. All right, guys. All right, guys, here we go. Getting ready to do the first lap in the Cayman. I'm pretty stoked. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good time. They're checking our wristbands to see what group we're in. I'm in group 2. So you have the beginners group 1, they're doing lead follow. Group 2 is open lapping, but only on the straights. And then group 3 is open lapping regardless of the track position. Nice GT4 RS in front of us. That's cool. All right, they're staggering us. I'm up next. Gonna do a warm-up lap to keep it, get the tires warmed up and everything, not go too crazy. Like the 3rd gear so far is a sweet spot for this car. Little trail, smooth off. Coming up on the M, I think it's an M coupe, maybe it's just a regular. I hit that corner all fucked up. Alright, coming off smooth. This corner is a little tricky. Light on the corner, little trail braking, getting it at 3rd, a little bit lighter, looking for the apex cone, got the cone right there, hit it, coming across, giving it gas, get ready for a 2nd gear shift, little jerky on that, little jerky, I can do better. All right, I'm gonna try to hit this turn a little bit later in the apex. All right, I'm cutting in, now got that blue cone, slowly on the throttle, going, got this one. I'm gonna keep my momentum going up on here, try to hit this corner, staying in 2nd. This section all seems like a good 2nd gear, letting the tires get a little to the limit. All right, rolling on the throttle on the straight. Got it. Let's see what we're gonna hit in the straight. We're about 110, maybe 116. I'm going to call it. A little trail braking, a little bit more trail, a little harder here. I'm going to lighten up. Smoothness is key. Smooth on, smooth off. Wrong gear. Got me in second right now. I'm gonna keep it in second through this section. Oh man, the habit of, I don't know, I think I'm messing up that turn, but if I hit this cone apex here, I got it. Trail brake, trail brake, trail brake, hard brake, hard brake, hard brake. Coming in. Coming in. Hit this at late apex. Got it. Get 'em. Set up for round 2. Camera angles have changed a little bit, so we'll see how this goes. Let's put this GT4 in front of us, GT4 RS. See what goes down. All right, let's go. It's feeling good. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Hard brake, second. See if we can catch this apex. Oh, the tires are screaming, the tires are screaming, let's go! Missed gear. Get this GT4 RS. I'm gonna keep it in third. He's not going super fast. Messed that corner up. Just late apex. guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Ugh, man. Well, guys, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. Had a great time. Well, guys, that's a wrap. We had a really good time here at the Motor Enclave. It was a lot of fun. The Cayman did great. I got no complaints. The helmet, I love it. I actually bought it here, RACEQUIP. We get these for about 250 bucks. The gloves I'm rocking today, these are from STRASSE. I think that's how you say it. I think they're actually sim racing gloves, but hey, they did great for the price. Why not? You know, try them out. I recommend them. I think they did really well. The only other thing I got to show you guys, got some racing shoes. I ordered these. They're PUMAs and Sport Editions. A little cheesy, but they work. I like them. And they weren't expensive. You can get all this gear and do everything you need for racing and have dedicated stuff. So why not? So, hey guys, again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to put my sandals on, roll the windows down, and enjoy the ride home. Take care.